Shalom. Call hello, Yahweh Shem Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, and be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. And this lesson is inspired by a message that I got from St. Benji this morning on Instagram. Let's see if I can get this to play. Then we're just going to go right into the scriptures.
Okay, as an attorney, as a political commentator, and frankly, as a former White House official, I used to think I knew a lot about how America picks a president. I was wrong. I did not know. And this year I've been doing some research into some of the fine print and all the different things in our Constitution that we never talk about. And I've discovered some legal loopholes that shock me, I guarantee will shock you, and could determine the way that the presidential election in 2020 turns out. For instance, did you know that under our Constitution, a presidential candidate could actually lose the popular vote, fail to get a majority in the Electoral College, refuse to concede, manipulate hidden mechanisms in our government, and still get sworn in as the President of the United States of America? That's a true fact. I know it sounds like some crazy House of Cards episode, and I wish it was, because then we could just change the channel. But I just described to you a real world, real life possibility that could occur this year, the year I'm talking, in 2020, or in some other year if we don't fix some of these glitches in our system. If you're behind in the ninth inning, you just come out and concede. All right? So all those other innings don't matter. That's really how the presidential elections work in America, because the Constitution actually spells out two different sets of innings. You got the popular election process that everybody pays attention to, and then you got the elite selection process that everybody essentially ignores in a close election.
And see, we've been telling you that for years, and yet you scoff and you scoff and you scoff. You don't have a voice in America. You don't have a decision making power. All that is, and all it's ever been, is a way to appease the masses, to make them appear to have a voice. One brother, the beloved brother Salaki, I can't think of your name, but you know the brother, he's part of the San Francisco camp. I watch his videos all the time. He gave the analogy of the little toy steering wheel that attaches to a baby seat, to a toddler seat, so that the little kid, in his mind, he's driving the car. Well, that's you American citizens when it comes to this whole voting thing. And that's just one of many things. All right? But let's let him continue.
If nobody concedes, the second invisible process, these extra innings, if you will, they actually matter a whole lot. Let me explain. That first set of innings, popular election, it's what you think about when you think about the presidential election. It's the primaries, the caucuses, the debates, the conventions, it's election night, it's all that stuff. Most of the time, the loser on election night, at that point, just concedes. Why? The American people have spoken, all that. But according to the Constitution, the game is technically not over. After the cameras go away, after the confetti swept away, the Constitution requires this whole other set of innings, these elite selection process stuff, and this is all behind closed doors, it's among government officials, and this process goes from the end of the vote counting in November through December, all the way into January. You just never think about it because for so many generations, these extra innings haven't mattered much because the election night loser just concedes. So this other stuff's just a formality. Even in 2000, Vice President Al Gore gave up as soon as the Supreme Court ordered an end to the vote counting. Gore did not continue the fight into state legislatures, into the electoral college, into Congress. He didn't try to discredit the results in the press. Frankly, he didn't send his supporters out into the streets with protest signs or pitchforks or long guns. As soon as the court said the vote count is done, he just conceded to George W. Bush. Because that's what we do. That's just kind of how we do things around here. You don't fight in the extra innings until maybe 2020. Curse you 2020. So what could happen instead? Instead of conceding.
So the men of the Lord, the head of the men of the Lord, which is Elder Apostle Tahar, and the rest of the apostles and the top elders from the main camp in New York and Connecticut. You know, the elder apostle deemed this year, the year of prophecy. And man, have the prophecies, man, you can't tell me that that's not a man of the Lord. Right? The prophecies are raging forward. So, and then with this other information that I have, as a matter of fact, before I do that, let me read this scripture. This is 1 Maccabees 8, verses 15 and 16. And it reads, "Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house wherein 320 men sat and counseled daily, consulting always for the people, to end that they might be well ordered, and that they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that they were neither envy nor emulation among them." But we know that that was never the case, because just look at the history of the Caesars, how they were backstabbing and killing and fighting amongst each other. You know, the year before, and how that ended with Vespasian, bringing in the Flavian dynasty. So he went from that to dynasty, a patriotic thing of his own family. All right? Because why? Because Esau, Edom can't get along, man. They fight and they hate each other as well. Matter of fact, this is Revelation 6 and 4. And it says, "And there went out another horse that was red," and that was the Roman Empire, the Edomites. All right? The Greeks and the Romans, Edom, through Alexander the Great. "And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth." And ever since these Edomites, every time that they're in rulership, right? This is the second time that they're in rulership in this earth. They take peace from it. They conquer and kill with the sword, just like that blessing in Genesis 27 and 40. Their forefather told them that thou shalt live by the sword. All right? So that means you live by the sword, you rob, steal, kill, rape, and murder. And that's exactly what they did. And it says, "And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword." All right? And they have the greatest weaponry. That's how they got into power and maintain that power, with the threat of their weaponry. All right? And then, of course, their corrupt way of being. As a matter of fact, let me just pull up something. Just read a couple things that were sent to me by my professor. All right? It's going to lead up to all these things, because it's been so much evidence. Here's one from Instagram. I'll just read the title. I'm going to the whole thing. Oh, no, that's the same one. All right, hold on. Here we go. It says, Washington Examiner. That's where this comes from. Just waiting for it to load. You know what? I just read it. The news: the president wants Justice Kayleigh McKinney, says Trump campaign has 240 pages of sworn affidavits proving voter fraud. Now, that's heavy, man, because they're going to a Supreme Justice with this. 240 pages of sworn affidavits. There's getting ready to be some issues in America, man. When Second Ezra's, hey, look, and where's all most of this? Every scripture I've read thus far outside of the Revelation, it came out of the Apocrypha, man. And the same history that took place when Rome was in power in the Apocrypha is taking place again. All right. Now let's look at this next one. All right. Fox News. Politics, Florida's DeSantis moves to allow citizens to shoot looters and rioters targeting businesses. That's open season on Jake. All right, because BLM is an Edomite, a 95% white organization. Point blank, period. All right, that 5% are the idiot Jakes, stupid Negroes that come when they come to major cities that come out and after Esau incites the crowd, because just like the evidence proved when the riots first hit Chicago, the people that lived in Streeterville and the river northward, Edomites, were taking videos of watching white people spray paint, knock out windows, and destroy stuff. The infamous cop. They got caught breaking out the windows in the AutoZone and then spray painting free shit inside, and walked away. All right, and almost got jumped. The video of the white girls destroying property and the black woman in New York saying, "What are you doing? This is not what we're about. Why are you doing that?" All right. Because Edom in his heart is war and destruction, and you people are falling for the okie doke with this whole BLM, and the same thing goes with these with this whole voter fraud, man. The whole process is fraudulent in the beginning. All right. As a matter of fact, let's grab a quick scripture. This is Baruch or Ecclesiastes. I'll turn right to it. That was a spirit. 10:8. And it reads, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And that's been Esau's MO since he came into power the first time and the second time. Rape, rob, murder, lies, and deceive his way to the throne, even if it means killing his own people, his own brothers. All right? Hey, World War I, World War II, was Revelation 6 and 4. That was white on white crime at a world scale. Greatest violence, millions. They can never call anyone violent. All right? Or aggressive and violent at the rate that they kill one another and other people as well. Okay, the Civil War, same thing. All right? If they were to win and take over, they'd exterminate all the melanated people off the earth, and then they would fight and kill each other. Then it would be brown eyes against blue eyes, or colored eyes. Guess all the green and the blue eyes, the gray eyes would get together and be against the brown eyes. All right, yellow leprous hair versus brunette hair. They'd find some other way, a reason to fight and kill each other. They would. They've proven it over and over again. All right. Let's grab another quick scripture. This is the book of Daniel. All right, because their words be smooth like butter, man, but hey, war is in their heart. This is Daniel 8 and 25. There it is. All right, because that's that democracy. Democracy. Demon and rule. That's what the word breaks down to. Just like you're looking at Apocrypha. Apocrypha breaks down to hidden away. See, the Lord rightfully named it so. Because why? Esau hid it away. To what? To hide the evidence. To keep it out of court. So you go from the Greek Empire. You got where you start with the Babylonian conquest. The Persian Mede conquest. The Greek the Greek conquest of the Persian Medes, where is that found? In the beginning of Rome. Where is that found? In the Apocrypha. Then you have the New Testament, and it's just Rome. You didn't see the creation of it, the Greek diaspora, the Hellenization of the Israelites that was scattered throughout all the different provinces that was ruled over by the Greeks and the Romans, and how they became Hellenized and had Greek names. Couldn't refer to themselves as, so they were living for 400 plus years, of many of them referring to themselves as Greeks. So when you read, there's no difference between neither Greek nor Jew. See, that's that deceit. All right. But this is Daniel 8 and 25, and it reads, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, and shall be broken without hand. So when he tries to stand up against the Lord, that's going to be his last fight. All right? Because the Lord got something for him. And plus the Lord is going to unleash the 144,000 imbued with that 144 Brandon Brass, bright burning your ass. All right? Never seen Brightburn, I highly suggest you watch it. Okay? One more scripture I had in mind. Let's go to Ezra. Because everybody's walking around, these ignorant people, thinking that this presidential thing is over, and it's far from over, man. All hell's gonna break loose behind this mess. So let's go to 2nd Ezra 15. Because that's where we are, man. I think it's 15, 16, and 17. Yeah. I started verse 14. 2nd Ezra 15, 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. For there shall be sedition among men. Sedition is when you go against your government, against your elected officials, law enforcement, and all that whole sort of thing. All right? And it reads, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And a man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. All right? Because these cities are going to get cut off. All right? These zones are going to get cut off. You got to remember, America split into 10 FEMA zones. And if you were in Chicago, the way they divided Chicago up and blocked it, when all that stuff went down, it's going to get way, way worse. The time of Jacob's trouble has well begun, and it's only going to get worse, man. So with that, I hope this was an edifying lesson. Call Halal Yahweh Bashan Awashai, Bashan Rakakwadash, Wa Ababa Shalom.